So Dodo Pizza today is 357 and in 70 countries of the world. That's 195 partners in people who are attracted and interested, in more than 10,000 of employees. We are operating in different time zones in different countries and different continents. And 5 years ago, we decided to get together for the first time. 2013, we conducted our first Partners and Managers Congress in a forest near Syktyvkar, near a very small northern town our company had created. And we decided to do it every year to discuss our plans and share stories of success and failures for us to just get charged with energy. And gradually our Congress has become the main event of the year for our business and our chain. And we are presenting our strategy at the Congress and make promises and get the feedback from the partners. And that's very important because the essence of our business is very simple formula. Our success is the success of our partners. And we started with 40 people, and then there were more and more of us. And now, friends, I am greeting you at the 6th Congress of Partners and Managers of Dodo with more than 1,000 people together here. So what has happened since our last meeting? How the scale has changed of our business? A year ago, when I was talking at the meeting, our annual sales was $70 million. What has changed during the year? During the year, it has grown up to $162 million, which is 131% growth. Well, friends, to understand the scale of the numbers, you need comparison, because everything is in comparison. Let's get over into the United States. There's a very renowned journal to the National Restaurants News, which gives the rating of the fastest growing companies of the world. And Blaze Pizza was #1. Similar to us, also founded in 2011. And at the beginning of the year, they had 300 pizzerias, and they grew 48.9%. #1 among all restaurant chains of the United States with the Mod Pizza, also from Seattle, similar to us, founded closer to our time, and they have 330 pizzerias, and their growth rate was 80%. Now look at the number, 131% is the growth rate. And I would like to say now that we, with you, have built up the fastest growing pizzeria in the world, and we are growing every year for the recent 7 years. We've been doing it twice a year. That's fantastic growth rate. And this year, we are sure that we will have 13 billion rubles of sales, and we will double our growth. And most important is that's not only growth because of opening new pizzerias, but it's quality growth. If you look at the graph, that's the like-for-like growth. It's the comparison of the sales of the old restaurants with more than 2 years old, specific months, current year and last year, which shows how much the restaurants are growing. So recent couple of months, the like-for-like indicator is more than 40%, which is a fantastic number for the 2 years old pizzerias. If we look at the absolute numbers in Russia, a year ago, the average sales per one pizzeria over 1 year was about 3 million rubles. And in the recent months, we've come up to 4 million number. So just imagine that the average pizzeria over 1 year in Russia provides 4 million of sales, which is a very good number. It's not just a growth; it's quality growth. And you know, many are trying to identify this secret of explosive growth, and international competitors just stunned how it it is possible? Well, lots of reasons for that. Good marketing and good product and the right strategy and the system of deliveries and supply chain. And I think that the people is the main reason. This spring, I visited a lot of pizzerias in different towns and cities and countries. And you know what? I worked in the kitchen with the guys there and saw how involved they are, our teams in the work, how sincerely they really want to do great product and to provide good customer experience to the guests. And the people, they are the main factor of our growth. And look at the photo. It is made on the 31st of March 2017. Zhenya Timoshenko, one of the most successful partners. Today, Zhenya is going to speak after lunch here at the stage. While his wife and son, they're looking at him, and Zhenya is near the team, and he's with the team. And that's exactly the main secret of success of Dodo. And you know what? Very important thing to deliver. Irrespective of how big we are and how big we will become in the future, we will always, we should be ready to put on our aprons and stand up with our team at the oven. And then we will grow more. So what is the business today? Let's look from the helicopter view. 91% of our sales made in Russia. And Russia, for us today, is the biggest market because we started in Russia. Over the year, the Russian market has grown more than 2 times, 125%. The sales of the chain since June 2017 up to June 2018 was 8.75 billion rubles. Number 2 is Kazakhstan, which is giving more than 4% of growth. And our Kazakhstan partners showed fantastic growth over the year, and the Kazakh chain has tripled. Let's applaud to our Kazakh partners. To be quite candid, today in the Dodo football championship, I'm going to be the fan of the Kazakh team. The other markets cover 4.5% today, and they also have demonstrated very good growth. And if we compare the 2 years, the current and last year, by the share of the sales, we can see that the share of Russian market is declining a little bit, but with the account of the fact that the Russian market is growing so fast, our international markets thus are catching up by the indicators of sales and volume of sales, and that's the factor that we are in international company, international chain. And I would like to share one important news with you as to how the management company will change and how our business was evolving. It started in a very small town in the north of Russia, Syktyvkar, and it was growing in Russia. And we were thinking of the future, and we were thinking of the development of going globally, and we created our franchise in the context of the Russian market and for the Russian market. And then our partners in other countries, in Romania, Kazakhstan, and others have joined us, and we've penetrated 10 countries. And our management company, our product company, first of all, focuses on the Russian market, and that's a fact. And this year, we made a decision to separate a company and to set up a global product company, which will allow us to focus on all the markets from the point of view of information, system development, brand and marketing. And the Russian partners, those who are in the audience here, 90% of them might think that we will not think of Russia. Of course we will, because it will stay our most important market. And the Russian company and the CEO, marketing director, they are all very strong people here. And this step will allow us to go global. And I think that's a very good news for our international partners. And today I'm going to talk, and we will talk about about our team and our management company, about our strategy in Russia, which is our biggest market, and the success of the company depends on the success in Russia, and about the global product strategy and how our franchise is going to evolve, because they are the key core projects of our company. And so, friends, let's start with reviewing our results and performance for what we have done for all the markets we're in. Let's start with Dodo IS. What is Dodo IS? That's our own information system as a web service. That's the nucleus of our franchise, and that's our global competitive advantage for the future. We are developing our system since the inception of our company for 7 years running, and in the meantime we have created a big product which makes our business transparent from the website down to the process in the kitchen. And we created digital platform. And you know what? If we look at the creation of our system, the main functions were started 5 to 6 years ago. But nevertheless, in the recent years, we have invested into the Dodo S development the biggest amount of money, more than $3 million. And to be quite candid, we did not introduce a lot of innovations the business would notice. But what we were doing was that we were changing Dodo S from inside. When we were creating Dodo S, we didn't know how our business would evolve and didn't know that it will be so fast, and we didn't have a lot of resources to spare, and we were not thinking about creation of scalable solutions, and we were trying to catch up for the success of our business, and our loads and complexity were growing, and we've come up to the moment when we have to restructure, and that's exactly what we've been doing this year. Look at the graph. That's the growth of the maximum number of orders in Russia only a day. If a year ago, July 2017, 37,000 was the maximum number of orders a month. Recently, it is more than 90,000 a month. This year, it was up to 267 a minute, which is 5 orders a second. Average, it can be even 30. Well, quite a big load, by the way. And we did have some black days. We were falling down. And, you know, all of us, when Dodo S was not operating, well, and we remember very well those days. And what we did, well, we've drawn conclusions and we've learned the lessons. And if we look at the availability indicator, which is SLA, what is the percentage? And it is 99.69, you would say that that's a great indicator, but that means 24 hours of loss of time. So, of course, our goal is to achieve the SLA of 99.9% or even 99.99. And you might say that, friends, you have so many developers, and the technology is so well developed, you have investments. Why does it happen? Well, actually, we are pioneers, and no one before us had created a big online system, even the cashiers using browsers for a big chain. No one has done that, and we are sure that this kind of approach will give us a great advantage. But to go to the unknown, you will have to make mistakes. And I have a very good news for you to share. We've restructured, and we are ready for further scalability, and we are ready to increase the chain. What we did, we invested into stability. I'm not going to bore you with our technical terms. We were working with security and architecture, and we increased our developers team by 8%, and we set up a special team for quality of the systems, QA team for the testing of the system. And today we are on the threshold of a disruption, of a breakthrough. And I can say it quite objectively that why so? Because we've created a platform which fully belongs to us, and we manage it. And the platform is ready for scalability, and we have a team because Dodo Pizza is an IT company. We are a consumer and pizza company, but we are also an IT company because we have a very big developers team and processes, and talented people want to join S, and that all will lead us to a breakthrough in the product development of Dodo S. And this year, and I promise you from this stage, this year is going to be a breakthrough in the product development, because the basic objectives have been solved. Of course, we will have mistakes, and you cannot say that the service will be ideal all the time. But this year, we have done so much. Okay, friends, let's talk about the key projects. What is a key project? A year ago, from this stage here, I announced that the management company will start working with key projects. That's our focus. And when the business is changing, the strategy is changing, and the circumstances are changing, but there are things that we will do anyway, because the key projects, that's our product strategy for all the countries. Number one project was the management project, because we realized that our business had grown, but the management and the system of the management loses to major players, which are operating for years with a sustainable management system. And our objective was to make a breakthrough during the year, and we did it. We created a single management system. We've processed all the best practices of our partners, and we've combined them. And now, just several days ago, in our knowledge base, so far in Russian, a book is published, How to Manage a Pizzeria, with all the practices and principles as to how it should be managed. All the articles were written during the year. So the most important product that was launched is online training. So the future of education in general is online education. We have created on the platform that's used by many U.S. leading universities a system of training or education which allows you to be trained in courses remotely, irrespective of what town or city you're in, a manager or a cashier, using tests and assignments. It's a big job. And a system of attestation and rating of attestation for us, we've created to motivate our management for further development. Number two is the profitability project. A year ago, from this stage, I said that we would like to increase the profitability of our pizzerias and to create a system of development of management of the retail business model. This year, we have identified and we have realized that the retail Dodo Pizza or economics of the Dodo Pizza is a separate product inside the management company. This product now has an owner. That's our financial director, Kirill Verpaev. And inside the company, we now have management control processes, and the business model has been improved. So our business and our unit economics, well, a lot of metrics, totally they identified the profitability and the financial performance of a pizzeria. And, to depict it as how it is, you can use this net diagram. Just look, every top of this net is a matrix, and every one of it has an owner in the company. It's marketing, logistics, products, development, business development, and totally they all impact the profitability. This colorful figure, the bigger it is, the better the profitability is. But the complexity of the model is that sometimes management decisions, which will lead to the increase of the average bill, they can decrease another metrics. For instance, increase or decline of the frequency of orders, or increase the cost of a new customer. And this year we created a system which already de facto can get all those solutions through. And tomorrow our financial director, Kirill Verpaev, will be talking in the special session as to what has been done to increase the profitability. And we did a lot. And what else we're going to do it. So please join in the session. Number three was the taste project. We wanted our product to be just more delicious, not high quality or better, but just as more delicious, which is really very important. And during the year, we've done a lot, and we've progressed, and this will impact not only Russia, but all our markets. And we now know what is taste, what drives taste. And we were doing focus groups and research, and now now we have even elements. We were involved in food technologies, and we know how the dough is done, even from the point of view of chemistry. And now we are even cooperating with bakery organization. And we're going to talk about the products we've done together, because Dodo Pizza in Russia is a huge market for producers, and we can create products together with them, and all the technologies will go to other markets. And today we can say that we are not losing in taste to the biggest competitor among pizzerias. Number 4 was the project of digital marketing. A year ago, friends, we didn't have digital marketing at all, and we've been developing for 7 years only at the level of the management company. We've never were involved in that, and during the year we've progressed a lot, and our strong team has grown, and we created a system of adapted to the franchising model. We have an agency where we license our and they have budgets from our partners, and this all happens in the framework of our system, checklist, and our market system. If the agency does not perform, the partner can find a different agency, but now it gets the advantage and the experience of we have accumulated from the system. We created 80% of the partners in big cities already operating with the system. We created the research system in digital marketing for Dodo S. And today we can track customers down to their telephone numbers. And we're going to develop it. Well, the key projects do not mean that we're not going to do it in the future. Number 5 was the brand project. A year ago, we set a goal to create basics for the growth of a brand. What is a brand, friends? A brand is not a trademark. It is not a logo. Because a logo, well, it's easy to draw a logo, but the brand is something in the brains of the people, in the heads of the people. And recently I read a book of an anthropologist, Now Harari, about the history of the mankind from the helicopter view. I loved one thought in the book, which said that people are animals which learned how to create myths, and the myths allow them to get together into huge communities. Actually, the state, the money, they all are myths. Certain conditional things people believed, and they are in their brains and minds. And brands are myths, big myths in the minds of the people. And you know what? The most difficult and the most valuable in the business is to create a brand.
Especially in the retail business, where we work with millions of customers, how to create a brand. To start with, we need to understand what we want to tell to the people, what brand we want to create. And a year ago, we realized that to create a brand, we need to set up a platform and answer a question, what we want to tell our customers, why we're different. And of course, we first of all looked into ourselves and asked the question, what is Dodo Pizza for us? And the answer was, when we started to dig into it, it's more just a bit more than a business. It's more than just pizza, and this is openness and trust and business and the product we want to be proud of. And the openness is a peculiarity of our company. Just imagine that after setting up our business, all our figures have been open and transparent. This is surprising not only for Russia but across the globe. We have open kitchens, we have web cameras on our kitchens everywhere, and we do not hide anything. This is the philosophy of our company. But our customers, our consumers, they just want pizza. Are they interested in all that? And then, after we thought it over, we set up a brand platform. What it is all about? We want our customers, our consumers, to understand that our pizza is tasty. First, we cook tasty pizza. So people tried and realized that it is tasty, not just tasty, but it is high quality. It is real high quality pizza. Why high quality? Because they know what it is made of, what ingredients are. And because we're open, we tell how we prepare our pizza, what suppliers we use, and how much we earn. And from openness comes out trust. This is the most important thing both in business and in life. And from trust we have the most precious thing of all, the connection between people, the community. And that's the code. That's our brand platform where are going to develop our brand. And we have large ambitions. We want to build a very lively and powerful brand. And this plus at the end is very important. This is the connection. This year we created a genius motto, I think. Sorry for being not very modest. So there is something that unites us all. Or eat something that unites us all. For pizza, they do not care who you are, whether you're a liberal or Christian or anyone else. So pizza unites people all over the world. Pizza conquered the world. It didn't exist for some time in Russia, but our brand is uniting people, and we wanted to unite people through openness and trust. And a couple of days ago, our marketing team completed a huge amount of work on describing and systematization of our brand and created a brand book, a lively brand book. It'll be updated. It is in very plain language, and it tells us about how we are going to develop our brand and what it looks like, how it looks like. And it is both in Russian and in English, so now you can log in your smartphones and have a look at how our live brand book looks like. And we've also prepared a small video. We just wanted to tell you about what our brand is all about in 1 minute. And now I would like you to watch this video. This is the manifest of our brand.
Иногда кажется, что мир становится все страшнее. В нем все больше непонимания и агрессии, и кто-то возводит стены, пытаясь отгородиться от проблем. Но мы верим, что есть другой путь. Путь доверия и открытости. Мы всего лишь делаем пиццу, но в наших силах многое изменить. Мы можем делать пиццу, которой можно с гордостью угостить друзей. Мы можем создать место, где для каждого открыты двери. Мы можем создать компанию, на которую можно положиться. Хотите посмотреть, как готовят вашу еду? На наших кухнях установлены веб-камеры. Хотите увидеть, где хранятся продукты? Мы проводим экскурсии для всех желающих. Также открыто мы ведем бизнес. Делимся опытом и доверяем сотрудникам и партнерам. Открытость сломает любые преграды, иначе мы бы не стали сетью пиццерий номер 1 в России. Нашими гостями стали 7 миллионов человек. Мы работаем в 10 странах мира. Присоединяйтесь. Мы открыты.
Friends, last year, Misha Chernyshev, during the meeting, presented the rebranding. But to present a new logo, a new style, is a small part of what we had to do. And this year we did a huge amount of work to change the image of our brand. We updated our facades. Now we are very bright, and people see us clearly from the streets of the city. Our facades now look very, very nice, both in neighborhoods and historical buildings and food courts. We also launched the brand inside the pizza places, and our brand can be seen everywhere now. And we want to start with Russia and then across the globe, so for people, when they see the D letter, our brand, so for them to have associations with our pizza. So now we say that we're an international company. We unite people from various countries across the globe, and we tell our story even on the trays and the tablecloth. We describe our brand, explain our brand on the website, and now we are giving books as presents to our customers, the books about the company. We first started as a project for the team, for the employees, but we decided to also give it to our customers. And, a miracle happened. Some partners were doubtful about how it will impact the sales, but we made deep research, in-depth analysis of figures, and we see that LTV, the revenue per one customer, among customers who received the book is higher, 72%. So customers become more loyal. And we've also updated the uniform because it is very important that our people feel that they're beautiful if wearing the uniform, not only for our kitchen teams, but the delivery guys. We've also improved our kids program. We offer now various attractions for them. And we also lived up the Dodo. You can see them in the streets of various cities. So this is Romania, Bucharest. Dodo birds go to subway, and very nice Dodo hats, Dodo cap. I have one here, a very nice thing indeed. I hope that it'll become a very interesting trick that we offer like a crown in the Burger King. So the most important improvement project is the improvement of the pack, collaboration of production people and designers and our R&D engineers. We've improved everything, starting from sauce and sugar down to the boxes. But before I tell you a secret about a surprise, we also created a very good creative cup together with Coca-Cola. You can try it and become a little bit more Dodo. So we won't stop with this. And now the brand manager Alina Askarova will tell you about the secret and will give you a surprise and will tell you how our pack will develop. Alina, let's welcome her. Friends, I will tell you about how our pack will change. Why it should be changed? It's obvious. Because the pack is part of the brand, and we are not. We're an unusual brand, and we know how to surprise people, and we do it all the time. So from now on, the Dodo pack is an art object. This means that we will, together with various artists and designers, we will update our pack at least once a year. And when people see our packs, people will say, wow. And if we are able to also launch exclusive series, the packs can go to collections, and that's cool, friends, isn't it? So we have launched the first competition for designers, and the winner, Marina Tolmachova, together with her, we've developed a new concept for Dodo boxes. During the development, getting to the heart of our customers, we brought two things together, emotions and history. And now, every one out of 5 of the boxes is a unique story about Dodo pizza. And that's how we implemented it in real life. That's the execution. Please look at the screen. So the first box is telling about how we started the first commercial drone deliveries, the first ones in the world, and this story was covered across the globe, and we're proud of that. And so this person is quite positive indeed. Box number 2 about how we conquered the United States. Do you know that we were the first Russian company to get into the United States market? And by the way, people out there like us so much that even asked us to sell our pizza in the largest stadium of the state we are now operating in. And that's also on the box. And box number 3 about how we get into China. So we are also pioneers here, and that's an amazing fact, especially for our customers. And another important point for them, we are opening the history in more details at the back of the box. Now we're developing 2 snack boxes. I cannot show you them now, but we will continue our story on those boxes. But what do we see? If we get all boxes together, we will have a very, very interesting, involving, insightful, and fun story about Dodo pizza in nice pictures. What will be the next step? We do not know yet, but we know for sure where we should go. We will cooperate with artists. We will create capsule collections at least once a year. We will surprise our audience with new and brave ideas. Our box will become our wow factor, our main thing, and the brand will also be very widely vivid, widely seen, because Dodo pizza sign will stay in the box. Thank you very much. Fedor is getting back to the stage. Thank you, Alina. So I'm anticipating looking forward to see our new boxes and capsule collections. I think we will update the boxes across all our countries. So, guys, we already touched upon what we've done in our key markets about our platform Dodo.s, and now let's talk about the results of our main market, Russia. What are the main developments happened during the year here in Russia? Two main points. First, launch of the first mobile app in the first country, and our first federal ad campaign. And now I would like to invite owner of the product, the app, Sergey Grazev. Sergey, please. Friends, probably you're all a bit tired sitting on your chairs. Let's warm up a bit. Please raise your hands, those who downloaded our mobile app. Wow, a lot of you. And now raise your hands, those who have used our campaign, download our app and get a pizza for free. So it's great that we have a lot of fans of free of charge pizza here in one room. And now the question is, raise your hands, those who've had the app in July last year. None of you. And I'm not surprised, because actually in July last year we haven't yet launched our app. It came out just 9 months ago, and after these 9 months I'm here now on this stage to tell you about the fact that the world has changed, because in fact in these 9 months we've become an e-commerce company. Many of you are looking at the success of the app, but probably you didn't notice that in May this year, due to federal ad campaign, our app is now doing better than the restaurant. So now 38.6% of the revenue is going through the app, not the digital revenue, but revenue in general. The app was downloaded by 3 million people, and half of these people come from our first federal ad campaign. And throughout this year, we were in the top of the ratings. We were the leaders, both in Play Market and App Store. At the same time, for a period of time during the federal ad campaign, we were number 4 among the general rating of all free-of-charge apps, doing better than our competitors, Vkontakte, Sberbank, and others. We created a very good app. Apple even devoted a category for the World Cup and included us into the category. So, and the app we've created is so intuitively simple that the interface is even quite easy to use for children. And creating this app, we've achieved a huge amount of conversion. On our website, the conversion is about 8%, and this means that out of 100 people who visit our website, 8 people will buy something. But in the app, this rating is 24%. At the same time, in the app, the average bill is also growing. Just imagine that. Over During the 9 months of the app, we've increased the average bill 1.5 times, despite the campaign that you are all aware of, free of charge pizza. And now we can say that the app is our key advantage that will be very hard to beat by our customers, because the openness, Dodo is, and the systemic mind is the basis for our business, and we will develop this advantage this year. We will work with the data of the users. We will create personal menus for our customers. Everyone knows that sometimes it's very hard in the restaurant. It's very busy in the restaurant. So we see from this guy to the right that it is very hard for him to work now. But the app will change the situation, will help him to avoid queues at the cash desks. And now we are developing in China a pizza place where there won't be any cash desks. All orders in this pizza place will go through the app. And after we launch the pilot project in China, we will also add this capability here in Russia. Many people know that we've added into our app, we've added the subscription for push notifications. But comparing against our direct competitors, we are not going to oversaturate the phones of our customers with useless marketing campaigns. Instead, we want to make it in a way that push notifications is a powerful instrument to save money and to increase revenue for our clients and partners. So, and then the main novelty that is coming now. We all know that the app is useless if the customer doesn't like our product. The app will give all our customers will give them an opportunity to assess their orders. Our foreign partners might say that all these things sound nicely, but when will the app come to our countries? And now I would like to say that throughout this year, we will work on going to all countries of Dodo penetration, starting with Kazakhstan, where we'll open in September. And the goal is to, before the next meeting happens, we want all our customers to be able to use our app. And we will create a truly innovative product. We will create a global app, and our users from Syktyvkar downloading the app, going to Oxford, can also order a pizza out there. Thank you. Thank you, Sergey. Now the app is 40% of our sales. We launch cash deskless pizza places in China. They want to cover all sales channels everywhere. A year ago, we said that we want to create something new. Warren Buffett said that a breakthrough thing, this is something that changes the business altogether. But such advantage for the retail business is the brand, of course, because design can be copied, taste can be copied, but the brand, it sits in the heads, in the brains of people, and you cannot create it. And we decided to start creating this breakthrough advantage of our company. We started the federal ad campaign and implemented our app. So whether we were successful in this work or not, Mikhail Chernyshov, marketing director, will tell you more about that. Let's welcome Misha. So before I start talking about whether we were able to build this unique thing, let's just watch the first video about us. Download Dodo app and get a pizza for free. A year ago, we were the chain of pizza places #1 in Russia, but we were a regional brand that sit in the heads of not many of our customers. We didn't wait for 400 pizza places in Russia, and we launched the first ad campaign before that were screened on TV. We were preparing for it for a year, and this campaign started on 16th of April down to 29th of May. And these days changed us and the market we're working in. And now I would like to share the results of this campaign with you. We invested 100 million rubles. For us, this is a big sum. But for brands like McDonald's, this is just copics, because they invest 26 times more into TV campaigns, despite the fact that they have just their number of restaurants is just 2 times more. We invested, and you partners also invested into the local marketing. We invested the main part into TV because it is still the most effective channel in terms of the price for contacts and quality. And in order to get the guys who do not really watch TV, we invested additional money into online video. You invested into billboards, BTL promo, and digital channels, a bit into the radio and cinemas. And during the federal campaign, we realized that we have a unique opportunity to actually utilize the developments that happen in our country. And we got into the hockey championship, and we were in the 2 historical matches of the World Cup 2018. In the match Russia against Spain and Russia against Croatia, this match was the most high rating over the recent year in our TV, and we were there. 67 million people watched our ads on TV, and more than half of them watched this video more than 5 times. So how can we describe in one word the results of our first federal campaign? Fantastic results indeed. Now I would like to tell you what we've achieved exactly. So it's for the first time in history of Dodo Pizza in Russia, we hit the record of revenue 1 billion rubles in 1 month. And this is the growth rate plus 182% against last year. And that happened during the month when we started our first federal campaign. And then we hit another record. In 1 month, per 1 pizza place in Russia, we received 914 new customers. A year ago, this figure was around 300. And the impact of federal campaign didn't stop in May. So there is an impact of tail, so-called, when the campaign is finished but the contacts still work. And this tail helped us in June and July. These are traditionally, for many of our regions, these are traditionally low months with very bad seasonality.
Let's look at what has happened in June. We did not rely on this kind of performance, and according to our best forecasts, we should not do it. But again, it was 1 billion, and the number of new customers showed 170% growth. That's the second record number, 174 per 1 pizzeria, a breakthrough of disruptive growth. The most complicated market where our competitors are present, one more than 15 years, the second more than 10 years, with giant promo noise. How could we, and whether we could get through this noise and to provide growth this complicated market? We did not grow only. We were going far ahead. The average delivery sales growth, 244% in pizzerias older than 12 months. July the same, plus 178, 271 and 178 in July. Now that's the number of customers. You can say, well, wait, hold on. That's Moscow. Everybody's growing aggressively. Okay, let's look at our our oldest pizzeria in Moscow, which is Moscow 1. And Stas Semyonov is our partners. And for the moment of federal campaign, it had been more than 2 years old. Whether we managed to move it, let's look at the numbers. The sales only for delivery in May came up to 3,960,000,000 rubles, which is plus 128%. Look at June, more than 4 million is only for deliveries, and plus 141% growth. Number of new customers in May, the number was more than 1,300, which is 260% growth. And in July, in June, it's the effect of a tail is 240, and that's a very far away or remote pizzeria, very far from the stadiums. Well, FIFA World Cup, of course, helped us because people, when watching football games, football matches, they are ordering pizzas. But this pizzeria was very far from all those fans' platforms. That's our first pizzeria in St. Petersburg. For the start of the federal campaign, it had been 17 months old. Fantastic performance. In May, more than 4 million of sales. In June, it was even higher than May. And the number of new customers, more than 1,400. In June, more than 1,200 per just 1 month. That's an increase of 331% growth in June in St. Petersburg only. We have very grown-up regions, the regions where we started our business and our way. Whether the federal campaign was effective in those cities or we are already at the ceiling there, let's look at our main city and our first city of Syktyvkar. Well, the federal campaign showed growth even there. It was 30% growth in May and 26% in June. Ukhta in May, almost 30%. June, even higher, 39% growth. Smolensk, 58 in May and 55 in June. Ulyanovsk, 62 and 70 respectively. And you know what? And you know, our chain has one town, very problematic, 4 years old, and the recent years not been growing. It was sort of at the ceiling, and the mostly growth it showed was 9 to 10%. And I personally was interested whether the federal campaign would stir up this town, which had not been growing. And I'm talking about Maikop. In June, the town showed 65%, and in May, 62% of growth, which proved that federal campaign is working well. So we have laid our foundation for a long-term relationship with our clients. And this foundation works for us. For the federal campaign period, we had more than 1 million applications installments on the smartphones. We are now associated with pizza deliveries, and before the federal campaign and after, we've made a research. A question was very simple: what pizza deliveries you know? And then we measured the first brand and the first answer and all the brands. And at the end, we also asked a question whether they knew Dodo Pizza, and we was curious as how Moscow was doing. For the moment of April before the federal campaign, only 12% mentioned Dodo as the first delivery pizzas, and we were number 5 brand quoted by the point of view of rating. After the federal campaign, it was already 17% instead of 12. Very good increase, and we've become number 1 brand. The people quote as number 1. That's quite a huge achievement for Moscow. St. Petersburg, we started with very low base. Only 6% answered and mentioned Dodo Pizza as number 1, and we were number 6. After the federal campaign, we've doubled, and now 13% of quotes as number 1 brand. We did not become number 1. We have 2 local strong players, and thus this shows a great potential of growth. Ekaterinburg, we were number one, 12%, and we grew up to 17% after the federal campaign. And Samara, more than 1/3 of the people quoted Dodo Pizza as number one, and it is 3 times higher than the closest competitor. Well, we shifted this monolith, but we increased their knowledge by 15%, and Dodo Pizza awareness in Samara is 95%. Practically, we've become Coca-Cola in the pizza delivery in the city of Samara. Bravo, Samara. We also destroyed some myths related to the federal campaign. The number one myth was, well, they said, why do you go to television? No one's watching television. That's a myth. More than 90% of our audience, and usually it's young audience, 18-35, they're regularly watching TV, minimum once a week. And the results of our campaign shows that TV is still the most effective communication channel to build up your brand, federal brand. Then the second myth was not worth promoting deliveries because no one's ordering deliveries. Let's do the restaurants. But the small towns grew higher than the bigger cities during the federal campaign, which proves that even smaller towns do have deliveries, and you have to stir it up. The number 3 myth is that only freebies and will be attracted, and the old base will not be attracted. That's a myth. During the federal campaign, we've stirred up more than 87,000 sleeping clients and returned more than 17,000 people who forgot about us and did not order us more than a year. And that showed that the federal campaign returned some of our old clients. Maybe they at some point switched over to our competitors. To recap, millions of new potential clients learned about us, and about 350,000 new clients tasted us, and we associated our brand now directly to the pizza deliverers. And when people quote the Dodo Pizza, the first association is quality, speed, innovation, and openness. In all regions of our presence, we are more actively recommended. And another important thing to mention. In marketing, there's such an indicator as return on marketing investments. That's the index you can use to measure the effectiveness of any channel or instrument or any marketing campaign. Very simple. If it is positive, then the investment is justified. If it is negative, you don't have to invest anymore in the channel or instrument. You have to find something new to do it. So we've accurately calculated this index for the federal campaign, and we've asked Kirill Veripiev to help us to calculate it very accurately. And this indicator for our federal campaign came up to 109%, which means that for every ruble we invested into the federal campaign, we already returned 2 rubles and 9 kopecks of profit. And we did not calculate the long-term effect of increasing base and the long-term sales from our new clients. The federal marketing is much more effective than the local marketing, and that's clear because the contact is cheaper and the coverage is higher, and it's becoming more effective with the growth of our chain, with growth of our coverage and opening new regions. But best of all, it operates with local marketing when we do the initial coverage with television and digital, and you in your regions add up local marketing. And the question which you might have as to what's next if there is life after the federal campaign. Yes, there is. And we've poured the first portion of water into this pit, but that's only the first step. And we have to continue running to do more federal campaigns to strengthen this lag from the gap from our competitors. And the next question is when the next federal campaigns will start. That's question our competitors are also interested in, and I will be happy to answer it tomorrow during our secret meeting. So see you tomorrow. Thank you very much, Misha. So, friends, please join in our secret meeting. It will be quite interesting. Myself, I personally, I'm not a frequent watcher of TV. I don't have a TV set in my home. But even myself, I've seen it 3 times. Once in Samarkand, in Uzbekistan, because I was visiting our partners in Uzbekistan, and I went to a cafe, and on TV there was our promo campaign on. So our first campaign was devoted to the brand, and we were just telling the people that pizza is Dodo and Dodo is pizza. And in the future we're planning to do different campaigns, telling the stories about taste and our advantages and about our products, of course, because the products, well, in general, that's the most important part of our concept. And you've seen that the basis of our brand pyramid is the taste, not speed, but the taste, because we want to make great, delicious products and to make our clients happy. This year we've done a lot to develop our product, and very importantly, we've created our blood system with our company East West. Tomorrow we will have a meeting with the leadership and the president of this company East West. Please come to join and ask questions, because the logistics system is very important for the distribution of our products, because thus we will be able in Russia, from Kaliningrad down to the Far East, to launch products and innovations very fast. And now the leader of our product team, Denis Chernybaev, is going to talk about surprising product we're going to launch shortly. Let's welcome Denis. Friends, a product is the heart of our business, and that's exactly why we spend so much time and energy to look for new, improved ingredients to develop and launch new products. In the recent 6 months, we've had a lot of interesting launches. Let's recollect some of them. Well, we started to think not only as to how delicious the products are, but also how comfortable it is to eat them. For instance, quesadilla, well, there were no complaints that they hadn't liked it, but statistically we could see that the clients are not returning to buy it again. And we relaunched the quesadilla, and after the month of the launch, we can see a growth of repeated sales. Samara chain, for instance, the return increased by 40% against the old recipe of quesadilla. Beginning of summer, we launched a strategically important product for the model of a restaurant. It was soft ice cream and coffee glacé. And the total sales of 40 pizzerias is more than 2 million rubles a month. 2 million rubles. Is it much or little? Per one pizzeria, it is more than 52,000 rubles. And actually, we think that this product has a lot more potential. And Komsomolsk-on Amur pizzeria shows it. And this month, they have sold ice cream at 142,000 rubles. In the recent year, we've done a lot of consumer testings and focus groups and blind testing. And friends, I have a great news to share. For the majority of products, we're ahead of our competitors from the point of view of taste. But there are products we are not very strong in. For instance, one of these products is Mexican pizza, not even Mexican, but the niche of spicy pizzas. Like Papa John's, Domino's had two spicy pizzas, and not for nothing. We had only one, and the share of repeated order was not very high. And we returned the recipe of salsa to our menu, and we've reworked the recipe of Mexican pizza. And now during the testing in Himki and Nizhny Novgorod, we saw plus 100% increase of the old Mexican pizza against the old Mexican pizza. Friends, we're not going to mark time, and from this stage, I would like to promise that for next year, we will improve all the pizzas taste-wise where we are behind our competitors. But that's not the end of it. We would like not only launch the new products, we would like to surprise our clients and attract new audience. And our volumes today do allow us to develop ingredients with our suppliers tailor-made. And at the beginning of the year, it was the teriyaki duck pizza, and we become #1 pizzeria in Russia, which launched duck pizza. Having analyzed the feedback from the clients, we've seen a very curious thing, that there's a cluster of clients who had not even paid attention to us. They did not order deliveries or did it from our competitors. But when we launched this product, they paid attention to us because that's a unique recipe. Duck and teriyaki sauce attracted the new clients to us, and they will stay loyal in the future. August 13th, we are launching the Jarbaran pizza, and we again are going to be the first one with this kind of topping. And we've had a focus group to ask the clients as to what they think about this product. The clients said that they expect to see this kind of ingredients in a restaurant. And they think that combination of grilled vegetables and lamb as a premium. They are not expecting to see these products in mass retail and mass food products. And thus we're going to attract a new audience again. Strange it might seem, today I would like to talk not about pizza, but about a very different product, which will change your ideas of our menu. We all know that we don't have a lot of products per one, but the significance of such products increasing, and the sales of restaurants is increased, and the number of outlets at good traffic. And good traffic, well, it is a very important products for one. And we wanted just not only develop it, but to expand our menu. But we always should remember when we create a new product that our main product is pizza, and clients come to us and order us because we are selling pizzas. And that's when we decided to use our strengths and ingredients and toppings and equipment and knowledge of our employees. And we've done a lot of work, analyzed the menus of our competitors in different countries to see what products they are launching per month. So thank you very much, our German partners. Thomas, Michael, they open up their data of sales, and we've noticed there that the structure of sales very similar, and similar in pizzas, salads, but there's one category of products we don't have on our menu, which generates about 70% of total sales, 7.5%, sorry, and we don't have this category at all. So, in 3 weeks, on 13th of August, we are going to launch 2 new products. Pasta bolognese and pasta with chicken and mushrooms from oven. Thank you. Friends, we found a supplier who will tailor-made. Traditionally, will do the hard wheat pasta tailor. We will use only fresh pasta. You cannot buy it in a store. In Italy, they call it pasta fresca. The peculiarity of pasta fresca, which is fresh pasta, it is not high temperature dried. Right after cutting, it is boiled up to al dente. It's ideal ready readiness, and then after shock freezing, it is frozen, and pasta thus keeps its natural taste and stays juicy even after conveyor. So that's well, our focus is pizza, so we decided to create such a product not to distract from pizza. So pasta will come to you in a packaged tears. So well, what your pizza makers have to do is to add ingredients and toppings and to get it through the conveyor oven, and it will be ready. But we decided to go even further. We decided not to create an additional package thing, and we've decided to do such a size to ideally put it, squeeze it into our snack package, and that was that will be a wow effect for our clients. As you know, every product before launched is being tested. And this year, we've made a very serious step forward from the procedure of product launch. Every product before launch is tested in a small focus group in the office. Then we do it with real clients. We do pre-testing to learn the opinions of our product, of our clients, and then we do the testing. Previously, we did it in 1 or 2 pizzerias, but as for pasta, we tested it in 13 pizzerias to be sure that we will not have any difficulties with this product, and that the demand for this product will justify the investment. So the performance in Samara in the category of snacks, Doster was number 1 with 31%. Number 2 is salads, 13.7%, and pasta was triumphantly number 3 with 11.5%. Colleagues, there was no marketing, and we did not promote this product in social media, and no coupons delivered, no targeting in contact. We didn't even have a banner. We just were selling the product, and it brought 900,000 rubles of sales to Samara sales to be number 3 in the snack category. Right after the Congress, this Thursday, you will be able to write an article, a very detailed article as to how the launch will be made up. As of 26, for the partners of Moscow and Moscow region, you will be able to order it from east-west. For August and September, we are going to fill all the distribution centers, and September 8th, all pizzerias all over the country will launch it, and a special promo campaign for the product will be also launched. Friends, thank you very much, everybody, and wish you excellent sales. Thank you, Dennis. After your presentation, I'm very hungry. So, well, by the way, Dennis, pasta, are we going to taste it during our lunch? Of course we will. Friends, now our couriers are bringing pastas, and you will be able to, the lucky ones will be able to test it. I would like to promise that we're not going to launch sushi, mid-term at least. Friends, we've discussed the results and our key projects in Russia, and now let's talk about the future. So let's start with our big market, which is Russia, our Russian strategy. And let's look at the situation in the market. 2016, an unknown chain from the regions suddenly became number 1 among all chains in Russia. And we were number 1 in the number of pizzerias and sales. For our international partners and competitors, it was sort of an unexpected things, because they are used to coming down those respected chains, big chains, to come down to local markets to win over the local players to become leaders. But something went wrong, and in 2017 we are not only number 1, but we are stronger in leadership, and the speed of our development is faster, and that's a trend. And we have to understand that Russia has become quite a difficult market in the taxi market. Yandex won over Uber, and in the pizza market, we do have a chance to win over the international chains. We used to be the underdogs before. Who are the underdogs? The teams in sports, and no one bets. They are outsiders. But the situation has changed, and we have to realize now that we are the leaders today, and we are the leaders in the market. And that changes the whole thing. Because actually, for competitors, for strong chains, the decisive moment is coming, and they realize that if they don't break the situation over for them, then it will be impossible to do it further. And what our competitors will do in Russia, they will be aggressively developing. And now we don't have to think that we are number one and that's for good. We have to understand that strong and serious competition is in store for us. The competitors have good resources, and Domino's Pizza, the master of franchising in Russia and Turkey, like a year ago, they attracted, they raised capital, they came to London Exchange, and they have very aggressive plans, 1,500 pizzerias. Papa John's raised investments from a big fund this year, from Ovechkin. You might know that, and they announced their plans of 450 pizzerias opening. Even Pizza Hut, maybe someone forgot about it, but it's still in the market. And the Pizza Hut company and the Yum Brands, they sold the master franchise to Russia, to Amrest from Poland, and their plan is to open 200 pizzerias shortly.
So, friends, competition is tough. Our colleagues in the market go into the regions. Domino's is developing in the regional centers now very actively, and they go to Samara. Another interesting piece of news, Papa John's, according to our data, is planning to open a pizza house in Syktyvkar. What will be our response to that? Yes, we are network number one, chain number one, but we are actually spread it across Russia. We are everywhere from Kaliningrad to Sakhalin, but just a bit of us in various places. One in Kazan, two in Novosibirsk, not many pizza spots in Yekaterinburg, not many in Moscow, and even in Samara. We have only 7 pizza spots, but the market of Samara is 20 pizza spots or more than that. And we realized that we were growing fast, but we should grow even faster. We should not stop in order to cover the market before other powerful players get into it. They will come, but those who develop first, they have some opportunities and advantages. Those who opened second-line pizza spots, you know, our first pizza spot in Syktyvkar is in the underground floor, and we should pick best locations. We should cover them, take them first to make our brand visible, and we have started the trend. We open pizza spots in the center of St. Petersburg. We are going to the central places of large cities in the regions. Point number 3 of our strategy: we have to reduce the zones, the areas of delivery. Why it is important? Because the smaller the zone is, the speedier, the faster the delivery is. The faster the delivery is, the more loyal the clients are. Because 30 minutes or 25-minute delivery and 60-minute delivery, these are 2 completely different products. And small zones of delivery allow us to get deeper into the market and attract more customers in this area. And the competitors, well, it'll be hard for the competitors because they will have larger zones of delivery and they will lose in terms of timing. And our model is better for smaller zones of delivery because our powerful spot is restaurant. This is our second leg because strategically we develop our restaurants, the design and the coziness of it and the menu. We have bits and now we have starters and ice cream and coffee. We make our model more sustainable in this way, and we can work with the limited areas of delivery and be faster in delivery. And point number 4 of our strategy is active growth into capitals in St. Petersburg and Moscow. Why? Our competitors with large resources, first of all, are powerful in Moscow. Domino's has been developing in Moscow for 20 years, Papa John's 15 years, and they go to the regions from the center. We did a completely different thing. We came from the regions to city centers. Now the tactics is to aggressively grow in the capital in order to distract our competitors from developing in the regions. So what has changed in 2 capitals during the year? In Moscow, 15 pizza spots a year ago. In St. Pete, 4 pizza spots. Now 32 pizza spots in Moscow in a year. I think this is a very good result. And in St. Petersburg, we grew plus 10 pizza spots. Now we have 14. About our brand, friends, in June, not during the federal campaign, but we noticed an interesting thing. And this is a fact now. This is something that has really happened. The situation isn't changing now. We were better than Domino's Pizza in search requests. So our brand is searched. This is something that tells us something very positive about the visibility of the brand. Domino's has been quite for a long period of time in the Moscow market. In St. Petersburg, after federal campaign and after we opened pizza spots, we became number 1 among the brands in terms of search requests in St. Pete, despite the fact that the network is smaller than that of the competitors. This year, we plan to open a flagship pizza spot. Our corporate network is searching for locations in the center of Moscow in order to build a flagship pizza spot that will support the development of our network in the capital. So red, this is Moscow. Red are already covered by our partners, and blue are the free spaces in the city center. First pizza spot in the city center is opened by our retail company, Novoslobodsk station, the red sector. And the second pizza spot, I would like you to applaud this brave team. Ilya Litvinenko, our partner, is chairing it. He's opening a spot in Moscow city. In the Moscow city, we have 248 people will work there. It's a city in a city. And if you look at Moscow, a lot of vacant places, but St. Pete is almost covered 100%. Just recently, Yuri Troyan, Yuri Kostin, our partners, have booked Vasilievsky Ostrov and Petrogradskaya Storna. So there's not much space in St. Pete left. So the bravest partner, please come to the city center. We will support you with opening the pizza spot in the Moscow city. We created a special project to help them launching. And the point number 5 of our strategy in Russia, our main competitive advantage. What is the main competitive advantage today? Look at this picture. This person standing on the plateau, looking at this magnificent scenery, this is Dodo Pizza. And the scenery is the opportunities, federal marketing. None of the competitors have such coverage. No one can do federal marketing now. They are competitors somewhere down there, and they need time to go up and get the opportunities we have today. Today we have a real window of opportunities to launch federal campaigns when no one else can do the same. And we can launch a cycle that will be hard to beat. We launch ad campaign, our revenue is growing, we reinvest this revenue into ads, our ad budget is growing because our sales are growing, and we start the cycle again, and it'll be hard to stop this loop, this cycle, and this is an opportunity. Why? Because the first brands in the category that will go to the federal TV, they are remembered very well. If you remember your childhood and the brands from the childhood, that's the first brands in the category. First washing powder or chocolate bar. Those who were first on TV, they are remembered the best. But the future is the fight of the budgets. Our competitors will anyway have their coverage. some time. And the financing of federal campaign is done by the federal fund. The first campaign by the management company was done on their own expense. And our marketing budget is 1% from revenue, federal marketing budget. At the same time, competitors, their budget is 4%. And when they grow, we realize that with a larger number of pizza spots, we can invest into add less. And from this stage, I would like to say that we offer a solution to our partners to bring local marketing into the federal fund. Let's increase our fund up to 3%. So it's not a one-sided decision. We have agreements with you that the fund will be accumulated when the network is 400 pizza spots in Russia, and the main changes will go through voting. And that's why we will offer this question for voting. And it is important to know that even with a 3% federal fund, and in fact making this transition of local marketing into federal one, which is more effective, the partner situation is better than competitors because our royalties are lower and we do not plan to increase them. In local national companies, Dodo company with smaller costs have more opportunities because we can make royalties lower, and we do not plan to have any time in the future. We do not plan to increase it. So 3% federal fund will allow our company, starting next year, to have 4 federal campaigns per year. 4 campaigns. We will be able, and that's just the beginning, because our network is growing. So, dear friends, this was the strategy for Russia. Now, let's talk about the future development of our franchise and the new key projects. So, what will become key projects of the management company in 2018? What is the key projects? This is a trick. You know, in the business it is always changing, everything is changing. We go forward and we develop products, but we want to focus on things that are important for the future. And key projects are the attempt to set this puzzle, to collect a puzzle, and to realize what we should do today to be competitive tomorrow. So the first key project will become the delivery project. You know, delivery is the future of the network. Fast food. Now the delivery is changing due to digitalization and aggregators. Even McDonald's is now offering delivery. We are a delivery company, but recent years we haven't been investing enough into delivery technologies. Andrei Savchenko, the leader of the project, will tell you about what we will do in Dodo in order to make our delivery more effective. Next project, customize project. This is our internal word, customize, you know, from English word customization, the adaptation of a recipe and the products for our customers. And we plan to create a system of changing of products. You know, competitors have customized, and today we will tell you, Alexander Cherny will tell you why we will be different. Sasha is the leader of Customized Project. He has recently joined our company, and he will tell us what we are going to do today. Why don't we launch Customized? Who are our customers in the future? Who are our competitors in the future? Now we're talking about the competitors in the pizza market, but all restaurants will become our competitors. We are now competing against aggregators today, against Delivery Club, for instance, or Yandex Food, Yandex Yeda. Yes, aggregators can be partners, but also competitors. And I would like to ask you a question. What is our main advantage against aggregators? Our advantage today is in the coverage, because aggregators deliver in places where restaurants are located, because without restaurants they cannot deliver anything because they do not produce food. Aggregators are good in the center with lots of restaurants and not very good in remote neighborhoods. And we are creating creating our own model, because this is it is very lively. You know, we can open something in Velsk in Arkhangelsk region, or in the center of St. Pete, or in other countries. You know, pizza is a product that can be ordered by anyone at least once a year, and we want to make our model even more sustainable. We develop our restaurants for this. We develop products that will give us more profit without making the whole thing more complicated. With the same ingredients, we can enhance our menu for our customers without any limits. We will introduce new ingredients, and clients will be able to build up their own recipes. And project number 3 is personalized marketing. What is it? This is direct communication with customers, and Mikhail Chernyshov is going to talk about it today. We believe that the marketing of the future is a personal thing. All clients will have apps, and the retail business won't be anonymous anymore. The communication between brands and producers will be direct communication. Our mobile app is 40% of our sales. In the future, we think that 100% of orders will go through mobile app. Almost all orders will go through the app, and we will be able to directly communicate with our clients. And that's why we invest into personal marketing today. Our key project number 4, pizza spot for ages. So personalized marketing is investments into our strong side. Investments for all ages is investments and strengthening our weaknesses. Ilya Zombo will tell us how we will improve our restaurants. We've improved product and boxes, but now we want to create more high-quality restaurants with better ventilation systems and with better designs, and to look fresh even after 5 or 7 years after opening. And project number 5, open rating. I'm not going to delve into details now, and Ivan Tikhov is going to touch upon it, but this is a revolution. This is a real thing if we manage to high quality launch this project, open rating. So guys, presentation of the key projects start now. Anton Savchenko is the first one to speak. Let's welcome him. Well, so many of you here in this room. I'm very happy to speak here today. Friends, Dodo Pizza has always been pizza delivery company, but recently we didn't think enough about delivery. So we developed our restaurant as a format. We developed and launched new products. We opened new countries. We launched a cool mobile app, and we launched a huge ad campaign. Will we be able to make the same in delivery? To make a breakthrough? I think that we're able to do this. And now our pizza competitors, aggregators of delivery in larger cities, deliver faster than us, and our average speed in the chain is about 35-40 minutes. That's why the goal for this year is ambitious figure, to have average speed of delivery in the chain in 27 minutes. Thank you. What impacts the speed of delivery? What impacts this last mile, last kilometer to the client? 3 large factors. First factor, the means we use for delivery. Our delivery guys on their cars depend on the traffic and the traffic conditions, the road conditions. Factor number 2, how motivated are our competitors to deliver faster? Just imagine that the new system of motivation of deliverymen, including instruments in Dodo IS, will allow us to make a faster delivery. Another third important factor is how we organize the delivery, how we distribute orders among deliverymen and the rides. Sometimes the system is not optimal, and remote orders go into one order, and delivery people have to wait for the second order to be ready to start their route, to start their trip. So in order to achieve the goal of 27 minutes delivery, we will use something we've never used before. We will use geodata. Even today, with integration of Yandex and Google map services, we will be able to retrieve all important data, the average time of delivery and the traffic conditions, and so on. So using the geodata, we'll create 4 products that will allow us to meet the goal. And the average speed of delivery for this year in the chain is 27 minutes. So first product is smart delivery. What is it? So friends, imagine the situation. A delivery person got the order and goes to the location, but the next order is also a close one to the location he went to. But just imagine your map with all your orders, and Dodo's will combine all these orders, understanding the time needed to deliver. So managers will not do not have to think how to arrange the orders. The system will be able to show you how the orders should be arranged and where to go. Product number two, where we also look at geodata, is motivation of couriers. The forecast for the trip and the length of the trip can be compared, and we can have a better picture of their operations. We will have a rating of couriers where we actually motivate those who do the most effective work, not the fastest probably. Those who drive fast and safe. The next product is stop notifications. Stop is the time when a pizza spot, due to various reasons, cannot take orders. Various reasons, problems with internet or electricity, lack of employees or deliverymen. If we cannot impact the first 2 reasons, but the lack of people, yes, we can influence this. But sometimes managers do not have time to effectively monitor the situation and are late to start their stop period. Our customers cannot make orders, and the food is spoiled, the ingredients are spoiled, and we gave out more certificates. What can we do in this situation? How geodata can help us in this situation, and how information system can help us with this? The optimal decision is to start your stop earlier and work on the queue of orders you have, and also bring deliverymen from the reserve and start operating in the normal manner. But this system can give tips to the managers when they should stop the process. And product number 4, with some number of projects in it, is transport. Aggregators of delivery and some of our partners have already accumulated experience. We will learn from it, and we will give you best practices, and we'll give you the systemic solution in the network. We will test alternative types of transport, electric scooters, bikes, food delivery. So in order to make this process of delivery independent of the traffic conditions. And all these products, smart delivery, motivation of couriers, stop notifications, and projects in transport, we will create them in order to frankly and openly say next year to everyone that we are doing the delivery in our chain in 27 minutes in average. Thank you very much, dear friends. And now Alexander Chorny is on the stage. What is Customize? Customize is an opportunity to fine-tune pizza, add or delete ingredients, or create your own pizza. For us, this is a good opportunity to enhance the menu of pizza spots without bringing more complexity into the production line. But we haven't yet seen Customize that we like. That's why we set the goal to create the best constructor of pizza in the world. What is bad about the current things? The first problem is not very user-friendly interfaces. You have to first sort out how it works, and to create your own pizza, you have to go through a quest. But problem number 2 is that people they are not chefs, and they do not know what ingredients to add, what goes well with what, and sometimes they have a strange thing out of their pizza. And this is my pizza, actually. And we want to tackle these two things. First, these two problems. First, what we need, the most convenient interface. We want any client to be able to create the pizza he wants. So he just toys with the content of pizza and be involved into the process. And point number two, we want to create not only a user-friendly interface, but an assistant with smart tips. We will tell clients what ingredient to add, what goes well with what, and how to create your own pizza. What we will start with. We've partly launched Customize already. We can delete ingredients, or in the United States you can create your own pizza. But during the year, across the world, we will launch the following products. So, constructor of your own pizza. You will be able to create pizza you want with your own unique recipe. For instance, we can add pepperoni, or chicken, or bacon, and onion. So this will be pizza of your own recipe. Product number two, changing the recipe of pizza. You will be able to create your favorite pizza or select your favorite pizza, and if you think that it lacks something, or you can deduct something, you can do it. For instance, add ham into margarita. And next project, pizza made of halves. So in one pizza, you'll be able to bring together two various tastes. For instance, margarita and Gavaian. And launching the Customize, we will get huge opportunities to enhance the menu. But in the future, what Customize will give us? We'll be able to store pizzas.
And even share it in social media with our friends. Your friend will just have to use the link to get from the constructor, and he will have to just add it to his basket. And just imagine we will be able to invite a star to make up a pizza together. And that's just not all the ideas that will be provided by Customize. And what I've enumerated here is the construction of your own pizza, changing the recipe of the pizza, pizza from the halves, and in a very comfortable interface with good tips will make us to do the best pizza construct in the world. So Misha Chernyshov is invited to the stage. Thank you very much, Sash. Personalized marketing and why this step is so important for us now. You know what? We've learned to massively attract new clients, and it's important to make a new step now to come closer to our clients. We have a giant advantage against our competitors. So because we know about our delivery clients, just everything, when and how, through which channels, mobile applications, call center, they made their first deliveries. We know their structure, and we know what they're fond of and what they have never yet tasted or ordered. We have the second advantage against our competitor, which is the knowledge of the clients of our restaurants. 70% of the restaurant clients we know thanks to our bonus systems, and this percentage is going to grow. Besides, we have a foundation. We are sitting on a gold database, which our Dodo system is aggregating. And besides, we are already at an arm's length from each client, thanks to our mobile application and mobile pushes, and thanks to email circulations and calling the new clients, Viber, SMS, and other messengers. Thanks to social media, the total number of our subscribers is more than 2 million people. So it's high time now, using this basis, to build house of personalized experience, which will consist of three main elements. Number one is how we attract our clients, and we can do it more personalized. The second is to help our clients to make the right choice. And the third is direct communications or retention. That's how we communicate with our clients when he already is a part of Dodo. At the first stage, we are going to build up several personalized communications to attract. For instance, we're going to create chains of digital channels. It means when we don't know a client, when he's new, we should show him the information as to who we are, telling him that our pizza is the best, and to motivate him to taste. And if a client already visited our website but did not order, we should remind him. And very often, he even made up a basket but was distracted by something and he forgot to make up an order. And there can be a lot of chains like that, depending on how and where he was interacting with us. Social media gives us an opportunity to find segments of clients which are similar in profile to our best clients, and thus to drag them over from our clients, from our competitors. Second, we have to help them to make the right choice at the stage of an order and the basket. Now, at the most conversive screens, we show the products equally for different clients. That's for the vegetarian, the first screen, and that's for the pepperoni lover. And where's the pepperoni here? And that's the first screen for the seafood fans. We have to change it, and we have to realize that if a client always wants a Hawaiian pizza, he should see it first, and he should reduce the time from the order. And so if he loves meat, let's show meat pizza to him. And if he equally orders pizzas and margaritas and meat, well, let's show the halves to him. And same at the basket stage. It's monolithic now. All the tips are very equal to all clients. That's wrong. We should change it. For instance, we know that our client usually orders Dr. Pepper or Coca-Cola with pizza. Let's show him those drinks to ease up his way. If we don't know a client, he's new, for instance, but we know that usually juice is ordered with cheese pizza, because usually it's for children. And we should show in recommendations, which we know based on the big data of our other clients. And number three, we have to help our clients at the cash desk. We should help the cashier, because he cannot have hundreds of scripts in his mind. So to help the cashiers, for him to help our clients, we should use the same algorithms we're going to use for the mobile applications and the website. We will show the recommendations which are related to the product, or after the telephone number introduction, we will help the cashier to identify what this client usually is fond of. And thus the link between the cashier and the guest will be even closer. And the third block is direct communications. What we started already doing recently, and just 3 months ago, the sales from direct communications in delivery came up to 0.6%. In June, the sales from direct communications already tripled, and now it is 1.8%. But that's a very small number. We're not happy about that, because our goal is very ambitious to achieve the sales in deliveries of 10%, which is a very aggressive but very realistic, very doable goal we set for next year. How are we going to achieve the goal? Three things here. Number one, we have to increase the share of clients we have opportunities to directly communicate with. It will happen organically on the one hand, thanks to our mobile application, and also thanks to the fact that we're going to motivate our clients to subscribe to our channels. Second, we have to learn how to segment our client base in the right way, depending on how they interact with Dodo Pizza. And third, depending on what they are fond of, or depending on their likes and dislikes and the segment they're in, we have to develop the right communications. For instance, if someone orders pepperoni and he's fond of pepperoni, but he hasn't tasted the double pepperoni. Let's find the segment and tell him about the product, which is 2 times more delicious than the one he orders. Or a segment which loves an event. We had FIFA World Cup. Everybody was watching. Even those who had not been fans of football are now fans of football. Well, let's tell him that by next match, and we know when it will happen, we will be able to provide some combo to him or his friends. And there can be a lot of such segments depending on what and how we would like to drive home to them, depending on what products we have. And all those 3 things, which are retention, direct communications, and personalized attraction, will help us to become closer to our clients. Thank you very much, friends. I invite to the stage Ilyu Zomba. Just imagine you are on board a plane, everything is okay, or you just notice some bad things like destroyed handle, or and thus you think that maybe in some other parts of a plane there's something also wrong, because usually people are thinking about some things, and same happens with our pizzerias. Usually our pizzerias look older than they are. We come there and see worn out TV sets and destroyed tiles, and it is hot in summer and cold in winter. When we were opening it, we were not thinking of the longer term. Our goal was to open them up and to return the investments. Who of you were thinking of how your pizzeria will look in 5 or 8 years? But now the situation has changed, and we spend a lot of money investing into marketing and the brand, and use the best toppings and ingredients. And do you think that our clients will believe that we are not using off-the-shelf, for instance, old products? Or number 1 project is we have the best website, mobile application, and we are in the top locations, and we cannot afford it. We should change the course, and we should start thinking long-term. And that's why we start a new project, Pizzeria for a Century. The goal is to make pizzerias most effective, and to stay as effective and beautiful for the whole life of the pizzeria. So what are we going to do? So we started, we have analyzed and we've asked our partners to find out about their concerns. We were not surprised with their answers. We knew it all, but still we decided to do it. So the biggest pain and concern of our partners is the materials that we used during construction. They are not they're not sufficient for the loads. And the second concern is design. And we had a lot of feedback about our design solutions. And also a lot of other comments were received, but they were less painful for partners. Those like equipment, electricity, ventilation, its water supply, its electric current. But still, the 2 most important things are design and finishings. Let's start with long-term. Well, it's a very comprehensive question as well as efficiency. And there's no magic wand or magic pill that will allow you to improve it fast. So now I'm going to brief you on the areas we're going to develop and what we're going to do till the next Congress to achieve important improvements. So the efficiency, well, our pizzeria is designed not very effectively very often because what we will have to do is to seriously analyze and find an opportunity to improve every zone inside the pizza. Maybe you saw a film of the creators of McDonald's as to how they were improving the efficiency and the zoning, and we will start with learning the best practices. We're very young. We're only 7 years old, but in the world there are so many chains which are much more experienced, and they made a lot of mistakes already. So the first thing we will do is to analyze the global practice. Then we will have to change our approach to design. Today's projects, well, it's very difficult to build high quality and long-lasting pizzeria, because usually a project or a design is a beautiful picture. Well, we do have beautiful pizzerias, but this picture cannot answer the question as to how to make it long-term. They don't have construction plans or ventilation or what is, but all those areas are not regulated now, and the partners are ordering them depending on their budgets from local suppliers, and all those solutions are the domain of the contractors. The second important thing is, even if we have a good high-quality design, without good workers, we will not be able to do it. And now we don't know who the guys are, who are building our pizzerias. So the important growth point for us is to get acquainted and regulate and thoroughly select the constructors. We should control those guys who are doing it. And next year we will do a rating system for constructors, and we will work with the main suppliers to understand who will we take to. And when a restaurant already is built, high quality, and if you don't maintain it, it will go obsolete, and so the operation is very important. We should know when to change filters in the ventilation system, and we should do the strength tests in electricity, which is very important for safety. And taking into account our size, we should not miss it. I visited one pizzeria and saw when a cable of the oven just is looming. Copper is a very plastic metal, and it can get heated, and it and it drags, and all those changes are unnoticeable, and that's why we need operations, good operations, and we will create very clear-cut procedures for all the partners to make their pizzerias attractive, safe, and everybody is concerned as to how it will impact the economics of a pizzeria. I will say that right away we realize that the budget, that it will increase, but longer term we will win, because the life of a restaurant will be longer, and the impact of the brand will improve from the point of economics. The high quality investments into construction is good, because to construct long term is profitable. Thank you. Now Ivan Tikhonov. I will give the floor to Ivan Tikhonov. Friends, let's fantasize. Let's imagine that this story is possible. In small Russian town, a restaurant is opened by an entrepreneur with a grand dream. He was dreaming of building up a huge company for all the clients all over the world to be happy. The team was focused on quality, safety, and cleanliness for the best user experience. And then hundreds and thousands of people joined in, and they started to open up pizzerias from Buenos Aires down to Nakhodka, from Murmansk down to Sydney. They built up a big global company together. The first investors and partners became multi-millionaires, and now they are flying their own jets. The offices of the companies are opened in the most expensive skyscrapers of the global capitals, and monitors are showing the exchange quotes with the shares of the company. And suddenly you are in a vacation, and you are in Barcelona in a pizza, and you don't know all those things. And what you see there is a dirty dustbin, dirty floor. Well, very average quality of the product, and you come to the cashier, and he's very indifferent. He can't help you. And you go away from this restaurant forever. And that's exactly how companies are dying. That's how they are growing when they think of their clients, and that's exactly how they start dying when clients forgetting about them. That could be our story, but we have something that might save us and will not allow this thing to happen to us. Two things we have. Openness and courage. From the day of inception, from the very first day, we are burning bridges. We installed the camera in the kitchen for every client to come and see how his product is cooked, and for the employees in the kitchen to remember why and for whom they are doing the thing. We made our sales open, and I'm sure that some of you are here even because of that, because when you saw and thought that the guys are so crazy doing it, then they can be trusted. We've built up the most accurate system of delivery and order, and we randomly checked and we were dreaming of every client to have high-quality products. And this year, the world has changed. Every client now has a powerful instrument, which is a mobile app, and thus we will give an opportunity to every client to evaluate the quality of his order. And this is going to become a perpetual engine and motivator and feedback for the franchisees and the teams to be able to see the situation online, to understand the real and objective pulse of quality and the feedback. And we would be someone else if we would not digitalize this assessment and to make it a matrix. Client rating will become the main Dodo Pizza matrix and the main quality indicator of our work, and we will make it open. What does the client have from our strategic competitors in aggregator? He can come and select and get assured that the quality of the pizzeria is good enough to make an order, and he makes his decision because he trusts the aggregator, because there's no reason to cheat. Now it can sound fantastic or even menacing, speaking about ratings and all, but we have a plan to gradually introduce it. First, we will create in the framework of the project the assessment of order through the application, and then we will create a effective business processing, because we have never received such a big volume of feedback. Some we should react immediately. For instance, if we mixed up or confused the recipes, we can change it and fix it. And some maybe we should not. For instance, if a client loves it all and he just says thanks to the kitchen, and we just give it over to the kitchen. And for instance, if the question is if the pizzeria is bad, what will the client see? Only the truth. And this is only the way we will be able not to forget about clients and to build up a company which will never die. The clients, as all of us, all the people, can forgive your mistakes if they could see that we are not indifferent and we have done our best to fix it. That's how trust is built up. It's taste, quality, and confidence. Let's do it together. Thank you very much, Vanya. The companies are growing because they think about clients, and the companies are dying because when they forget about clients. And we can create an instrument which physically will not allow us to do it, and can be a perpetual engine. Those were the 5 key projects, and for 25 minutes from the stage we've been making promises. That's very important, public promises, because for the whole year running we will work at the projects, and in a year's time at our Congress we will share with you our achievements. So friends, our first part of the first day is coming to an end. And traditionally, the first part, which is the management company, the second part is the part of the partners. And I would like, at the end of this part, to say that I'm very happy to work with our big team and our management company with very with good people, and we are talking to our partners, and our strength is that we have good partnership relationships, and we are talking every year remotely, but we meet only once a year physically. Yes, we make mistakes during the year, but we can argue and dispute, can have differences, but the most important thing in our culture that we're open and ready to admit our mistakes and try to find the decisions and solutions together. The long-term advantage of any company is people. Whatever we do today, well, competitors can repeat it, and it might not be good enough. But if we have good, sincere, talented people, we will invent something new. So, friends, I would like to finish this part of the Congress with a small video, which was shot by our friends, the Big Fish Productions Company. That was their initiative to do it. And we very often have friends like this, spiritually very close. That's a film about the people who work in the management company, and you will be able to get acquainted with many of them, to say thank you and maybe argue and dispute. So that's about the Dodo people.
Мир будущего – это мир борьбы за таланты, и главным капиталом будет не деньги, потому что деньги, в принципе, это заменяемый ресурс, а это именно люди. Бизнес – это экспедиция. То есть люди, которые к нам идут, они понимают, что они идут в экспедицию там, на Эверест или в Антарктиду. Представьте, что в нашей сети сегодня работает на данный момент более 10 тысяч человек. От того, насколько эти люди удовлетворены своей работой, зависит на самом деле продукт, потому что наш продукт, он создается в каждой пиццерии, вот каждый день, в каждую секунду. У нас есть правило в компании no bullshit. No bullshit – это нет чепухи, скажем так. Или как японцы говорят, это слово есть такое муда. Оно по-русски так звучит прикольно. Это означает, что действие, не приносящее ценности, реальной ценности. Все очень просто. Каждый день, если ты будешь задавать вопрос, какую сегодня реально ценность ты сделал для своего продукта, для своих клиентов. Если ты на этот вопрос будешь отвечать, то в принципе в компании может не существовать никаких процессов. Это будет самый главный вопрос, он будет драйвить весь бизнес. Один вопрос, он на самом деле решает все. Многие люди, они как бы делают жесткую границу между работой и жизнью. Но для нас жизнь и работа – это одно и то же, то есть это все перемешано, то есть нельзя… это дело. То есть, видите, счастливые люди, они делают крутые продукты. Если мы научимся, скажем так, существовать, если мы создадим вот эту компанию, которая будет сама по себе как организм, она будет привлекать людей, выращивать людей, то неважно, как поменяется рынок, неважно, что получим, мы все равно создадим новые продукты. У нас украдут что-то, мы сделаем что-то лучше. И, собственно, вся Dodo Pizza и существует, и мы добились каких-то результатов с нуля, благодаря тому, что у нас получалось привлекать очень талантливых, крутых людей. Люди – это главное. Друзья.
Dear friends, now we have lunch. We After lunch, we will have a very interesting part with cases from our cool partners. So I'm looking forward to start the session, and bon appetit.